Welcome back. I'm here with Football League editor Pascal Lemaire to talk about Huddersfield versus Blackburn. Both sides lost their opening 2 games of the season. We'll start with Blackburn. What have you made of their start?
It was a tough first game. Wolves at home. Blackburn, they've had a really tough summer. They've already lost Gestead, and even more of a blow seeing him score on his debut for Villa against Bournemouth. But Jordan Rhodes is still there, but the talk just won't go away about him leaving the club. And the way it looks, he probably will go. Whether it's to, I've seen a couple of Premier League clubs were linked with him now. Middlesbrough have been heavily pursuing him. If he goes as well, then they've just got nothing up front. And against Wolves, they went quite close against Wolves. It was unlucky the goal that won it for Wolves. A lot of controversy there with Dave Edwards, winner in that game, but obviously a disappointing loss at home. And then they faced Shrewsbury in the Cup and losing 2-1 there as well. Gary Bowyer, he made 9 changes in that game, but there's still a game they probably think they should have won. But the problem is squad depth now. Can they sign enough players to cover? The player they've got at the moment replacing Rudy Gestead is Nathan Delfunso, who he's lost his way at Aston Villa. He went to Blackpool last season, I think, and they had a terrible season, didn't they? So he has scored, to be fair, in those games, but he's not as good, nowhere near as good as Rudy Gestead. And if they lose Rhodes as well, problem is with the embargo they can't really sign anyone. So if they both go and they can't really replace them, I think the Blackburn could be in real trouble this season. They brought in Hope Akpan from Reading, but he's not going to score that many goals for you. And the thing is, if they lose Rhodes, in this game he's got a great record against Huddersfield, and say if he's not there at the weekend, which there's a chance that he might not be, they could really struggle. And I think for the whole season that they look in deep trouble, I think.
As for Huddersfield, they were one of the favourites for relegation before the season. Haven't done much to dispel that so far.
Certainly not. It was a tough start for them going to Hull City, one of the newly relegated sides who were in the Premier League last year. And Hull, they've got a pretty strong side there. They had the likes of Huddleston, Jelavic, Chuba Akpom came on and scored. Another new signing, Klukas, scored for Hull. It was a tough game for them, but they would have wanted to bounce back in the Cup and they couldn't do so, losing to Notts County. That's a disappointing result. And now they've got 2 home games coming up, and it's a really, really big couple of games for them. I think Chris Powell, when you look at their squad, on paper they're just not as strong as pretty much every other team in the league. When you look at it, especially in defence, I think they're lacking. And I think these 2 home games coming up are big for them. The thing is, he didn't make many changes for the Cup game. He's stuck with near enough the same side that was there against Hull, so the players might be a bit tired, and they're still missing James Vaughan. He's still injured. He's probably their best striker, him and Naki Wells. So if Vaughan's not coming back soon, then they are going to struggle. And for me, I predicted them to come bottom of the table at the start of the season. So at the moment, it's not looking like anything's going to change that, and I think they'll struggle as well.
2 teams looking for their first point, their first win. Which way do you see it going?
I think it'll be a draw. I think Huddersfield, they were decent at home last season. They had a better home record than they did away from home. And like I said, the way things are going for Blackburn at the moment, I think they are really struggling. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Sportsman going for a 2-2 draw.